Hey everyone, I wanted to talk a little bit today about some of the Hanafuda cards that I received in the mail. Actually, I wanted to talk about these two decks in particular that I received or purchased Hanafuda Hawaii style cards. I won't really touch on these right now, but we're going to talk about these two in particular. I have opened all of these and played with them and looked at them, and they're varying degrees of cards, but after getting quite a few sets and going through them, I really like these sets. And I wanted to talk just about the design of them. Hanafuda cards, people get them and play various games, koi koi, and they can be used for different variations of the game. But I found that the variation of the game that I really enjoy the most is this Hanafuda Hawaii style game. And the first deck that I bought was this particular deck. And it's really, really nice. It's kind of a modern take on Hanafuda, meaning that it's taken some of the things that cause friction when entering the game and have removed them. And Hanafuda cards generally don't have markings on them, meaning numbers or symbols of this type of sort. They're just blank flower cards where they have pictures on them if you're not familiar with them. And they went a little step further in creating these decks in which you can easily identify when you get a yaku, which is like a set of cards. And as you see, they put these Japanese symbols on the bottom that show, hey, you get a yaku. Because before, you just had to memorize what went with what, meaning that, oh, when I get these 3 ribbons or 3 purple ribbons or whatever set that you get, you kind of had to memorize it. And so, because of the nature of the game and how it evolved over time, meaning that it was in Japan and it kind of became a taboo game, and so they hid a lot of the markings on the cards over time because the government frowned upon you playing it. But I think they recognized this and they actually brought back some really cool stuff in it. So they gave cards numbers so you know their point value, and they put some symbols down here so you know which yaku that it applies to. So this really makes it a way better game for entry level. So if you're trying to get kids or other people or friends to learn the game, Hanafuda Hawaii style, then man, it really makes it easy because they don't go, oh, I don't remember, is this card worth 5 or is it worth 10? Or, what is it worth? It's easily on there and easily marked and they can figure it out. They did some of the traditional style cards, or some of the traditional style art, and they made it into a larger deck too, so it's on larger playing cards. Generally, Hanafuda cards come in a way smaller size, almost the size of a domino. If you're not familiar with it, I'll take some out and kind of show you here. Then this deck I'm showing you is one of the cheaper decks that I got. But they usually look like this. They don't have any necessarily particular number markings or anything, and they're really small. I think one great thing that they did is they actually made the cards bigger, and you can play with them. And if you're teaching people to play, new people or young people, and trying to get them into the game, well, it makes it way easier and way less friction for them to easily identify how much they're worth, and then also identify, the Japanese symbol that goes with the yaku. So these, upon receiving these, I said these are the best modern Hanafuda cards I've ever seen designed. And I only really had one thing that bothered me about the cards. And I know upon probably designing these, they were looking at them and designing them and thinking, okay, what's a good way for them to, people to enter the game and know what the symbols are, and they added these symbols. And I'm just showing some of the art for the different ones here. It's really, really beautiful and really, really nice cards. It's really great, but they're spectacular. But here's where it caused just a little bit of friction in these original design cards, is that a couple of the symbols look really close. And let me show you. See how this one has a swipe here through the center, and this one doesn't. A lot of times I would see this and I would mistaken it for this, and so I'd grab the card and I'd be like, oh, later on, man, I thought it was this symbol. It's not. So a couple of the symbols were really close to each other. They were really alike. And so when people started playing at first, they would see them and go, oh, man, I grabbed that. I thought it was worth some points. And, I ended up not taking 50 points off the other people's scores because I, had this problem. Other than that, this was the best Hanafuda deck to play Hanafuda Hawaii style that I purchased. Most superior deck of anything that I bought. So, and my only recommendation is that for these cards when I saw them and I was playing was I thought, man, it would be really cool if these symbols would have had a little bit of color in them. So this type of symbol being yellow and another one red and so on and so forth. I thought, man, that would make this deck like the perfect deck. There's nothing I could find wrong if they would add some color to these symbols. So I thought it was by far, and don't take that as a negative, I was just telling you the perception I had early, is that I thought this was the greatest deck I had ever purchased to play this style game, and that's the only improvement that I found that I could, that I would probably improve on it. But I might be being really picky because I work for a gaming company that designs games, and so I'm always looking at things very critically. But best one. And so I had that in my mind, like, oh man, if I could do anything. Then they came out with these Hanafuda, the Flowers of Hawaii deck, which they took and they reworked all of the art. And instead of going with the traditional art, they actually made the Flowers of Hawaii. This is a beautiful deck. And I'll go through it here and show you. And when I thought it was a near perfect deck, it ends up, even though these aren't the traditional art, this is a superior deck. This right here is the best Hanafuda Hawaii deck that you can buy from a design standpoint. It's awesome. Why? We have all the different flowers, right? They all look great. They're all beautiful. They all have their values. And someone went through and they said, what if we put a symbol with color in the bottom? Like, the only thing I think that they could have that they could have improved on, they actually improved on. They gave them colors easy to recognize, so it really makes the game easy to enter. You can't be mistaken on what you're getting and whether you have, the correct set or grabbing the right one. So this is probably, and check out this art, man. Oh, these things are beautiful. It's a great set. But they did some of the flowers, plants that are native to Hawaii. So, and look at this. Holy smokes. These are just beautiful, beautiful cards. And so in my quest to find great Hanafuda decks, and these may be good for other styles of play, and we could tell you of these types of cards, these traditional cards, which ones I think are the best, but let's just kind of stick with this today. If you want to play Hanafuda Hawaii style, which is my favorite version of the game, there's no better deck than this deck. It is awesome. It is the best thing that you can buy. I'm just going to show a few more. There's one more deck that this company does make that you can buy. I have not purchased it. Hanafudahawaii.com is where you can buy it. But they have a deck in this style in the smaller version, the traditional style cards. And so I can't vouch for it. I mean, obviously it's an awesome, if you want to go with the traditional design, it's the most superior of all of these to play Hanafuda Hawaii with, because it has these markings and the points and everything. So it'll be well above anything else that you buy, in my opinion, that I've ran into. But I don't know how the quality of the cards are. Since I've never played with them, I don't know. But I assume since these are really great quality, I would be very surprised if it wasn't really, really great. But that's the only product of theirs that I haven't tried. Now, a few more, and I'll kind of let this go. But my point, kind of talking today, is I didn't find any videos where they had an unboxing of these cards and showed them, and so I wanted to come through and show them. If you like the traditional style and you want to play Hanafuda Hawaii style, this is the deck you buy. There's no deck I've found better than this deck for a modern Hanafuda Hawaii style game. Awesome. If you want to take it to the next level and you don't care if they're traditional cards and you like the new art and you want to play something cool and modern and beautiful, this is the best Hanafuda Hawaii style experience. And it's called the Flowers of Hawaii Hanafuda right there. It's this tan box. But depending on which way that you want to play, they both have valid reasons for being there. This is more traditional, so if you want to kind of teach the history of things and kind of tell people about the game, this one has valid things traditionally about it that are really exciting to play with. As entry level, if you just wanted to start someone into the game and you wanted the least amount of friction and teach people, you know, on a Friday night how to play the game, this particular version is probably the best version that you can buy out there. Anyway, that's it. I just kind of wanted to show the deck, and hanafudahawaii.com for these two style decks. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.